Okay, so am I the only one still wondering what happened with Gabriel Agrest's wish? I spoke about it a bit in my video where I discussed the season 5 finale of Miraculous Ladybug, but it's so odd. It's the conclusion to the Agrest story arc. All of the loose ends should be tied up regarding that story arc so that we can start fresh with the new one. After 8 years and 5 seasons of wondering how Gabriel would be defeated and if he'd get his wish or not, it's just so peculiar to not have a clear, satisfying conclusion. I already ranted enough about the injustice of how the show treated Gabriel versus Chloe and how his quote-unquote redemption played out, but the wish itself is just weird. The show tried to tell us for the longest time that if he made this wish,
of all the worst things that could happen, this is the worst possible thing!
But from the perspective of the characters and how we left everyone at the end of the finale, the world is quite literally perfect, making it seem like there was virtually no risk to letting Hawkmoth get his way, and further making the struggle of 5 seasons essentially pointless. Now, you can make the argument that there are actually some horrific implications here, since theoretically, everyone in the world or universe died and were replaced with copies of themselves when the wish was made. From the perspective of us, the audience, watching these events, this doesn't make much of a difference because we all know these copies are the exact same as the characters that perished, and thus moving forward in the story, almost nothing is lost. But from the perspective of the characters themselves, it's scary to think that you'll die and someone else will just replace you. In which case, yes, that is a huge risk because personally, I would never want that for myself. But the show is framing this as a good thing, what with the dreamy filter placed over each shot after the wish is made, and how everyone is getting along and how everyone has what they ever wanted. If the everyone died and were replaced by copies thing is indeed what happened, then that's dark, but what is the show trying to tell us here? The bad guy got what he wanted, and it turns out he was right? What? If this is actually what happened, Gabriel Agrest committed genocide almost to the implied degree of Star Butterfly at the end of Star vs. the Forces of Evil. And just like in that show, we're supposed to believe that it's all okay? Did Darren Nefsey and Thomas Astruc exchange notes or something? Because that's just such an odd, problematic, and specific way to end a children's show. And that's not all. Who is this? It could be Amelie, but it could also be Emily. Some of the leaked storyboard notes for this episode say that it's Emily, but the color scheme suggests Amelie. Considering Natalie is alive, you can assume that Gabriel exchanged his life for hers, which suggests the lady next to her is Amelie. But then again, the storyboard said it's Emily. I'm so confused. Thomas Astruc refuses to answer regarding who it is. It's weird to make us wait until next season to find out the answer, since, once again, this was supposed to be the end of the Agrest story arc. So, why wouldn't you end your arc with a satisfying conclusion, such as informing the audience of who this is? It's a tease, and an unnecessary one given that the Agrest arc is over. Lila already has the Butterfly Miraculous and was met by some mysterious force at the end of the episode. You already have your cliffhanger, so it's so unnecessary to withhold who this lady is. Logically, it should be Amelie, since according to the lore, the wish is an equivalent exchange situation, so a life for a life. And, thematically, it should be Amelie, since Emily was shown to accept her fate while not wanting Gabriel to go out of his way to bring her back. And some of the themes surrounding Emily's fate is about letting go and moving on. But knowing Miraculous and how much it doesn't care about continuity or logic, some power of love shenanigans could have brought back Emily as well, so I don't know.
There's also the possibility that he wished that the Peacock Miraculous never hurt anyone, which would have brought back Emily and Natalie.
I guess that's also a possibility, but it's so frustrating I can't stand it. Anyway, hello everyone, my name's Ayla Bell, and I might have a potential solution to the oddity that is the wish that Gabriel Agreste made during the Season 5 finale of Miraculous Ladybug. Stick around to find out my theory, and stick around even longer for the end of the video where I will not only review a cool new drawing tablet, but also reveal a new character to hang out with me and Bell Bell. But before we get into it, if you're enjoying this video, then make my wish come true by hitting the like button and subscribe for more reviews, rants, and rewrites. Follow me on my socials in the description, and be sure to join our community Discord, The Bell Tower, link also in the description. If you're still watching at this point, put the melting face emoji in the comments. Thank you! So, remember how I mentioned that dreamy filter over the scenes after the wish was made, particularly during that pool party? Well, what if none of that was actually happening? What I mean is, didn't we have this situation before when life seemed perfect and there was a dreamy filter? Oh yeah, in Season 5, Episode 4, Jubilation. That's right, folks, my theory is that this was all a dream. Specifically, I think that everything from Gabriel's wish is just a dream caused by the Pig Miraculous. Things are just so nauseatingly perfect after such a horrific crime that I refuse to believe that everything we see at the end actually happened.
But Aloe, that just sounds like you're in denial.
Yeah, and so what? I'd rather be in denial and have a glimmer of hope that the writing isn't as wonky as we all think than face the reality that it probably is. Besides, I like this theory. The question then becomes, whose dream is it? There's only one of two possibilities, Marinette and Gabriel. I don't think it's Marinette's dream because she'd have to be affected before Gabriel's wish, since Gabriel wouldn't have been able to do it after he made the wish, since he'd be dead. But regardless of when Gabriel used the Pig Miraculous, if it was Marinette's dream, why would her nicest dream consist of her enemy winning? Unless her dream is that he gets what he wants in order to get his wife back, and so that Adrien, her boyfriend, has his mom back, which would also mean her dream consisted of Gabriel dying, which is a little messed up and doesn't align with her personality. Of course, the way that the rest of the dream plays out does align with her personality because all of her loved ones are happy and she and Adrien can live happily ever after. They even get their fairy tale kiss at the end. How nice. In her dream, she could also want the wish to not destroy everyone and replace them with copies. And in this dream, all of her friends can have their Miraculouses back. Yay, I guess. But not really, because there's too many Miraculouses running around. The super dark thing about this guess is that if it's Marinette's dream, then it's the dream she has shortly before dying, since Gabriel made his wish. It's a little wonky, but plausible. But I suspect more that this is Gabriel's dream, either by Marinette getting a hold of the Pig Miraculous sometime during their fight and using it on him to disarm him, or, in a darker twist, Gabriel used Gift on himself, perhaps out of desperation when he realized he was going to lose and didn't want to face a reality where Emily didn't get to come back, as well as face a reality where he didn't have to, suffer the consequences of every bad thing he's ever done. In any case, this theory holds up considering how remorseful he was at the end. He didn't see himself having a place in anyone's life anymore and fully accepted and believed that his loved ones would be happier without him. So in his greatest dream, he gets to make the wish and bring back Emily and Natalie. Adrien gets his mom back and is no longer suffering under a terrible parent, and Adrien gets to be happy with his girlfriend and friends. That seems to be what Gabriel wanted at the end, for Adrien's happiness, as well as for Emily and Natalie to have another chance at life. Even Felix and Kagami get to be free and happy.
But Aloe, why would Gabriel dream of Marinette's friends getting the Miraculous?
Well, he knows that Marinette is Ladybug, so maybe he makes the logical guess that she'd give her friends the Miraculous and they'll help her keep Paris safe. Basically, in his dream, it's a perfect world without him in it, which is depressing, but also very plausible. If it's Gabriel's dream, then he'll either be stuck in the dream forever, who knows, maybe Mari decides to not take him out of it, in which case he'll be in a mental asylum or hospital for the remainder of his life since he can't exit the dream, or Mari releases the dream once he's in custody. We really won't know since we don't see the world outside of the perspective of the dream until the next season, probably. Actually, there is one instance where we get out of the dream towards the end there, and I'll discuss that shortly. Regardless of whose dream it is, all I'm saying is that it's weird to end on such a sickeningly sweet note that the world is all perfect now, only for there to be a question of who this lady is, and with the audience's knowledge that there will be more trouble on the horizon, given that there are more seasons to come and a new villain with Lila. Assuming Lila will be the villain since we don't know who surprised her at the end.
But Aloe, this could just be the calm before the storm. Many seasons and arcs end on a high note after the battle is won, even if more trouble still lies ahead.
That's true. I agree with that, and I'm not opposed to cute, sweet fairy tale endings. I love them when they are utilized correctly. Something just feels off about this particular finale. I don't know if it's because it's not earned, or if all the pieces just don't fit correctly, or because of the many questions left when all was said and done. All I know, or rather all I figure, is that the only way that Astruc being so silent about the wish and so cryptic about who that woman is for no reason, especially when it's supposed to be the end of an arc, the only way for that kind of behavior to be justified is if he's holding back a big secret, or a big twist. And that twist is that everything is a dream. Maybe. The wish is weird.
But Aloe, this can't be a dream because we saw Lila get the butterfly miraculous and then get surprised by someone at the end. Neither Gabriel nor Marinette will want her to get that miraculous, so why would they dream about it?
The last part of the episode can still be a dream and still have that bit with Lila. The answer is simple. The part with Lila wasn't part of the dream. When we see Lila, it's back in the real world and she got the butterfly miraculous. Somehow. It's just set up for the next season. Nothing more, nothing less. The other part I can consider to not be part of the dream is when Marinette explains to Suhan and Alia that the butterfly miraculous is still missing. Since Mari wouldn't even dream of this scenario and neither would Gabriel, I can only assume that this part is real. And for this part to be real, the dream sequences would have to be part of Gabriel's dream since the real Marinette would have to be alive to realize that the butterfly miraculous is missing and that they'll have to do something about this. Although, the more I think about it, it is possible for this event to still occur in the Marinette's dream scenario since, in that route, Gabriel still dies and creates a new world with his wish. In which case, new Marinette still would have discovered that the butterfly miraculous is missing and will have to do something about it. So, to sum it up, if it is Marinette's dream, then this part about losing the butterfly miraculous occurs with New World Marinette. And if it's Gabriel's dream, then it would occur with original Marinette. But in any case, this scene would not be part of the dream. Anyway, if I have thoroughly confused everyone, I'm so sorry. But just remember that it's only a theory. A miraculous theory. Thanks for watching. So, what do you think of my theory? It's likely not gonna be true, but if it is, boy, that sure would be something. I don't know if I would applaud the writers for doing something so bold or look at them funny. Either way, it would have some fantastically dramatic possibilities for future scenes and character development. What do you think happened with the wish? Is that Emily or Amelie? Did everyone die and get replaced with copies? Comment below and let's get this conversation started. But wait! We're not done here. Our friends over at Frunze have sent me a sparkling new drawing tablet to share with you guys. Oh, who is Frunze? Well, first of all, I hope I'm saying their name correctly, but they are a new competitor along the lines of Huion, XP Pen, Gaomon, and Wacom. When they reached out to me to try their product, I was instantly sold, so to speak, when I discovered that the tablet doesn't need to be connected to a computer. That's right, Like how an iPad has Procreate, this is a special drawing tablet that doubles as both an Android tablet, where you can do internet stuff on, along with other applications, as well as draw with it with full pen pressure functionality. As someone who is incredibly interested in doing digital art with the convenience of not having to sit at my desk all the time, I wanted to try this out. So let's get to the unboxing. This is what I was welcomed to after taking the box out of the shipping container. The Frunze box was in extremely good condition. No sign of misuse, wear, or tear. And my battle with opening boxes continues. I'm honestly pretty ashamed how long it takes for me to open these things. Thank you for the magic of editing. Upon opening the box, I am first introduced to a welcome and guarantee card, as well as the instruction manual. Next, we have a glove that one could wear while drawing on the tablet. Though I know it's not terribly necessary for this one, as the tablet doesn't pick up on signals from your palm as long as the pen's tip is in contact with the screen. I also prefer to not use these gloves, but I appreciate the option. In the same bag is also a cleaning cloth for the screen. Here's the charger, USB cable, and interestingly enough, a brush. I guess that's for brushing off the tablet's screen just in case there's dust. I also didn't immediately realize that cylindrical thing was a brush until later on, so spoilers, I guess. Here is the drawing pen. I was surprised by how heavy it was. Not in a bad way, though. It's battery operated using a quadruple A battery. I had no idea that those existed, so I'm definitely glad that Frunze provided one as well as a spare. This pen comes with 1024 levels of pressure sensitivity, which sounds very impressive. I look forward to trying it out. Next up is the leather case, also in very nice condition. I love the smell of new stuff. I'm aware that that is a disconnected phrase from what's going on, but I really wanted to say that. Anyway, I appreciate this case already because not only will it protect the tablet, but it has a stand installed so that I don't have to draw on a flat horizontal surface. I've grown so accustomed to drawing at an angle on graphics tablets that anything else feels wrong. The stand is also quite sturdy and stays in position. And finally, it's the moment of truth, the Frunze Rubens Tab T11 Pro Drawing Tablet. It's so shiny. I know the screen looks a little weird, but I think that's just from the shipping materials rubbing against it. Later on, I end up wiping it off with the given screen cloth and it ends up looking perfect, so no problems there. Frunze shipped out the tablet already equipped with a screen protector, so thanks for saving me that trouble. I also realized during editing that the screen was so shiny that it accidentally reflected my reflection, and I wasn't exactly picture ready, so I apologize for the blur. On the sides of the tablet, the charging ports and other ports are all clearly labeled, as well as the power and volume button. And now it's time for my struggle with the tablet case. I eventually discover the Velcro keeping me from getting inside. But yes, there it is. It looks fantastic. I'm excited to start drawing on it. Alright, I skipped ahead in time. I wanted to use the right drawing program for this. The tablet already comes pre-installed with the Sketchbook app, but I didn't feel like using it. I know it's a plenty good app and a lot of people get some really good drawing use out of it, but I didn't feel like using it. I unfortunately can't use Clip Studio Paint because that would require buying a whole new license, and I just don't want to churn out that type of money right now. So I looked into free options and it came down between Krita and Metabang. I tried Krita first because I've played with it on my PC before, but man, it looks so much more complicated on a tablet, and probably on a phone too if I were to guess. So that was a no. Metabang was much more tablet friendly as the user interface was much less cluttered and still provided what I needed. It's no Clip Studio Paint, but I'm grateful to have it nonetheless. Right away, I'm so happy that this tablet not only has pressure sensitivity, but also the option for stroke stabilization. I had to play with the settings in Metabang to get this to work just right, but I eventually got it. Either way, I'm really happy with how this feels. Now let's get to what I promised earlier, a new character. I was having a hard time one day figuring out what to draw. Nothing came to mind. It was blank. So, I decided to use my magic to provide some inspiration. Which, I know, sounds super vague, but should be fine. And I know it sounds like cheating, but it's not, because I'm not using my magic to make the art, just to be inspired. Belle Belle offered to help, and since she's my reflection, why not put our heads together on this project? So, with our powers combined, we ended up creating a creature. But not a creature we've seen before. It started out as a blackish, purplish, inky blob with glowing white eyes, surrounded by orbs and wisps of purple light. Naturally, I was confused, while Belle Belle was fascinated. After a few moments, the blob looked at us. My jewels, as well as Belle Belle's, glowed involuntarily, and the purple lights began to take shape and solidify into 2 orbs and 2 rings. The inky blob's form settled into that of a cute cat-like creature who was also the size of a cat. She had a star on her head and a white bow that matched the design of the bows of Belle Belle and I, and her tail matched the shape of our tails. How strange! And yes, I know some of what I said isn't depicted here because I made some last-minute design choices on her after this drawing was already done. So think of this as version 2.0. Version 1.0 is on my phone and probably won't see the light of day. When the creature opened her mouth, she let out a light "loo" sound. And instantly, Belle Belle and I were swept up in her cuteness and both agreed to keep her. And now we have a pet. Here are some specifics. Her name is Lulu. She's a creature called a logical, made from a magical inky-like substance, and she can mold her body into any shape, but only reflecting its silhouette. In other words, she can't make specific details in whatever she turns into, she only turns into the shape of that thing. Considering the spell that was used to make her, we don't know why she takes the form of a cat thing, but maybe Belle Belle or I had cats on our mind at the time. Her power to shapeshift comes from her function of aiding our creativity. She turns into the silhouette of something, and I'm inspired to draw or write something based off of how I interpret how she looks. Since she's a combination of our powers, my powers being blue and Belle Belle's being pink, Lulu's powers are purple. Both Belle Belle and Lulu don't have pupils or irises because they were created with magic. Even though Lulu's name partially comes from the fact that she can only say Lou, I named her based off of the same naming convention as Belle Belle, simply taking part of my name and replicating the sound. This is once again to represent how they are both a part of me. And that's about it. I enjoyed getting to draw Lulu and showing her off to you guys. Since she doesn't really talk, she'll be more like a cute mascot, along with my other mascots. I also enjoyed getting to draw her on my new tablet. You can check out the tablet yourself and where you can buy it in the description below. Thank you so much, Frunzi, for sending this to me. I'll definitely make sure to give it good use. And remember, I'm the artistic Ailabelle. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe for more reviews, rants, and rewrites. But as for now, that's all there is. There isn't any more.